What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the Verified AMA. What can I say? My name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day. The markets are open, sometimes when they're not, to answer all of your questions. I'm going to be live from 12:30 to 1:15, so about 45 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me. And as always, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, please considering us liking this and clicking that subscribe button or follow button or whatever it is. It really helps the algorithm and helps us know that you enjoy this as much as I enjoy this. Wow, a lot of questions coming in. But okay. For those of you who are new, this is how this will work. You can either scan this QR code down below right here. You can scan that QR code or visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage and click on that watch and ask to watch and ask. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. The markets are kind of selling off today. The S&P is negative. Pretty much every darn thing is red except for SOXS, which is green, and Celsius, right, which is also green. Take a look here. Yeah. But let's see what type of questions you guys have, and I'll hop right into the charts. Let me get some water first. I literally just finished lunch. Tyler says, how's it going, Lon? It's going fine. So I had this plan, right? I just bought an electric vehicle. First electric vehicle. I don't want to put a 220-volt battery charger in my house because they quoted me $3,000 because the breaker is on the third floor. It's insane. And so I just have the regular plug, 120 volt, and unfortunately that 120 volt is not the best. It charges extremely slow. So I plugged it in to work, right? And there's one here, and I plugged it in about almost an hour ago. Okay, just about an hour ago. So let's see how many. Like 50 minutes ago. So I'm curious to see how many percentage I got. Let me see. How can I update this? I'm trying to figure out how to do this and explain to you guys. I don't know if you guys have any experience with electric vehicles. So I have had 4.5 kilowatt hours of energy delivered. I don't even know what that means. Roughly, I'm getting roughly 6% an hour, which is not the best, but whatever. You guys don't care about that, right? All right, let's hop into the charts. I've spent enough time lollygagging and giving you guys enough time to throw your questions. All right, so let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? But I'm going well, Tyler. Hope you're doing well as well. Paula says, MACD, Bollinger Band squeeze, MACD's falling. The MACD is what stock are you talking about, Paula? Which ticker are you talking about? Tyler says, any insight on CMG Chipotle Mexican Grill? I just had Chipotle the other day. How do you plan to pace out your gains this week? Yep. Are you taking a bit off here or there or holding for major swing? Yeah, for me, Chipotle, let me turn this VWAP off. I do think that Chipotle does favor a move up. Um, my target would be back to this 46.74 level. Had, from this trend line, has had a nice move up around 3%, but I'm targeting this gap fill right after earnings, from the day after earnings, pretty much. On Chipotle Mexican Grill. Paula says VXX. I'm seeing a channel between 38.90 and 39.60. Price has been oscillating around this zone, suggesting it's a mean reversion anchor. How long to hold this? I mean, we're all in the VXX. We're all holding this. I think overall our target is likely around $43 at least. For SOXS, VXX, MSFD, while watching the patterns, how long to hold on to them generally given the current market pressure? I think until it reaches their target, right? For me on SOXS, I'm definitely looking to hold this, well above $8, like looking closer to $9 would probably be a target for me on the SOX. On MSFD, this is bearish on Microsoft, right? Which is a bear ETF. You just have to look at Microsoft and see where is Microsoft likely to find the bounce. And for me, there are two places. Microsoft could go about 1% lower, go right here around this $500.53 level at this nice pivot low, and additionally at this gap fill about 1.5% lower near that 496.41 level. Aaron says, can you chart Rocket Labs for me? Appreciate your insights as always. Of course, happy to do so. Happy to do it. Yeah, on Rocket Labs. So man, let's go. Can we switch this? This is just what I use to day trade. I don't want to get rid of it. All right, let's go like this. RKLB with daily. RKLB, okay. My levels on RKLB are as follows. I really like this level down here. It's basically 34.33. I think that you're likely to see a bounce. However, this nice down sloping trend line, you could almost, I wonder if there's a sort of parallel channel. I've always been kind of not the best at finding these. I can look for them, but it's like this is like not really the best one. But regardless, you see this downtrend. It favors a bounce, right? It does favor a bounce higher, a move higher. However, it is RKLB is at the highs of the charts, right? So now breaking down from basically this down sloping, kind of trend. I'm not going to call it a parallel channel because it's not perfect, right? And for me, things need to be perfect. But I could, definitely see support down here at 34.33. And here's the thing, right? RKLB is kind of a meme stock, right? It's a Rocket Lab Corporation. They land rovers and stuff on the moon, right? It's really popular with Wall Street Bets and little Telegram groups that I kind of have half an ear in. But for me, I think it favors a move lower before it goes higher. In my entry, I could consider entering there or consider entering over here around 32.28. Those are two levels that I consider getting into RKLB. Nathan says, good morning, Lawton. Good afternoon to you, Nathan. What do the charts say about Ionic as well as LUV? Let's take a look. IONQ, right? It's quantum. Quantum went crazy since the Liberation Day lows. It's not even the Liberation Day. Yeah, since the Liberation Day lows, you're up 145%, and you're still about up 89% from those Liberation Day lows. For me, I like to look at these trend lines and see if I can't find anything, right? You're like, wow, this trend line is actually a pretty great one. You saw it went from those Liberation Day lows, pivot high here, pivot low, pivot low, pivot low. That's the line in the sand that it broke down from, right? Did break down from. For me, I think you could see a bounce here. There's this nice gap fill here. Beautiful pivot low here and a major gap fill here. So all these lines on my charts are areas that I anticipate a bounce on IO and Q. If you really want to stretch it, you could have said this is like a pseudo head and shoulders. It's still valid. It's just kind of ugly. I'll show you guys. You could say something like this, right? That this is the shoulder. This is the head, of course. And this is the shoulder, right? It's ugly. Not only is it ugly, but it's still valid, right? It's like that weird cousin. Even though your cousin is weird, you still your cousin. That would say the measurement would be a move down 44% or so. Wow. Okay. Glad I hit that mute button in time. I had to sneeze really bad. But now, when we have these measured moves, particularly for these head and shoulders patterns, do I expect it to fall the entire measured move? No, I'm looking about the 50% mark, which that 31.23 gap fill would be pretty much perfectly there. Let's take a look at LUV. LUV had a rough time breaking out of like this. This is actually pretty bearish, right? You had this down move, sideways consolidation, favors a move lower, but broke out of that downtrend and actually started moving higher. Now, the entire markets are kind of having a down day, so not too worried about it. But if LUV continues to sideways consolidate, you could see a move higher. You know, you have a gap fill up here on 6% higher. There could be some resistance. 33.20 would be that level on LUV. If it came down and you're looking for an entry for a buy, I'd enter somewhere around here, 29.7. Lynn says, good morning, Lynn. Good. What's up? Good morning, Lynn. Can you kindly explain what is the position of option trade? Like 1% position of an option trade means the cost of the contract value. Option is like different, right? When you're talking about the percentages of, you know, the option trade, it's probably your position of your portfolio, whatever you've deemed, you know, your portfolio. Let's say you have $1 million to trade with, and you split them up. Let's say 600,000 goes into swing trading, 300,000 goes into day trading, and then 100,000 goes into options. That 1% would be like $1,000. So 1% of that allotted $100K. Yusuf says, hi, Lon, do you see a large bull flag forming on XRP? Yeah, crypto's up today, which is very surprising. Large bull flag forming on XRP. No, I'm bearish on XRP. Head and shoulders pattern. Super bearish. July 17th. Oh, you're talking about this move like this? Not really. I mean, you do have this nice down sloping trend line, but I see more of a head and shoulders pattern. And this down move, sideways consolidation makes me think it wants to go lower. Dean says, best show at lunchtime ever. Best question. One of the best questions at lunchtime. Arguably ever. Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to say I really appreciate all of you guys taking your time, your lunch break, whatever it is, to spend time with me, listening to what I have to say, interacting with me, teaching me, letting me teach you, just exchanging ideas. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm the pro trader, I think that you guys have just as much to offer me as I do you, right? Long UNH at 300, Dean says. Okay. Probably 300. There's there a high probability gap fill 273 going to happen through? So, excuse me, man, I'm just really struggling here. This happens every single time at lunch. It's because I just eat lunch or like it's lunchtime and it makes me tired. Anyways, So UNH, if you're long in 300, that's fine. I mean, you're talking about UNH is down, right? It's down 53% from its highs. From the highs in April, it's down over 51%. So, yeah. If UNH comes down to this gap fill at 273, you can always, or 271 rather, you can always add. There's a previous gap fill here at 282 that could also provide some support. But is there high probability gap fill at 273 going to happen soon, or higher probability bull flag takes off in the short term? I think it depends, right? We got to see more price action. The thing is, if the markets continue to sell off, right, which they're doing today, like look at this, look at my watch list. Everything is red on the right-hand side. Pretty much everything is red. But if the markets continue to fall, yeah, UNH is going to come down. But I still think you can hold on to it because it does pay a dividend. Sherry says, hi, Lon. What's up, Sherry? Can you give me the buy signal for ETHA? You got to look at Ethereum for that. Here's what I'm worried about on Ethereum. You don't want this to make another shoulder if you want to buy Ethereum. If I was going to, man, I'm struggling really hard here, guys. I really apologize for my yawning. Around $3,400 is where I would enter Ethereum for a long. You would just have to refer back to the Ethereum chart to see where the price would be equivalent on ETHA. Mike says, hi, Lon. What's up, Mike? Hope you're doing well. How far down with the Qs? QQQ. Needs to drop to be a good swing buy in the coming weeks or a month. You had this beautiful wedge that I drew for you. Kind of try to break out of it, coming back, looking to break it, unable to break that. You want to close below, and then you want it to confirm. You want it to come down. My buy level on the Qs, 531.76. Lock it in. There's a gap fill there. That's my level. To be granted, there's another one here that could provide a small gap bounce, but I'm targeting this one at basically just under 532. Ryan says, why do you do swing trading, day trading, and options? Why not just focus exclusively on one that makes the biggest return? I mean, here's the thing. Day trading, let's say day trading, right? Let's talk about a stock like SOXS, right? This thing was so beaten down. Favorite to bounce was under $7. It was like $6.50, right? And look at this move, like 23% move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? 23% move in 5 days, right? Favored a move higher. Right? You can buy this for a swing and be like, all right, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to hold this until $10. Awesome. You could make 50% profit, right? And it definitely could do that. But look at all this price action. From the lows to the highs, you can make 6%. From the lows to the highs, there's 10% to be made. You see the spread in the candles for the day, how big, wide the candles are, long the candles are, I guess. So even though I have a bias, for a swing trade, you just buy it, take profit, whatever. But day trading, you can really get in there and capitalize on those small price movements while knowing that it generally has an upside bias. Another reason why not just focus is because not everyone has time to do that, right? In order to day trade, you need to have a good internet connection. You got to be sitting in front of your charts. You got to be sitting in front of your brokerage. You got to be ready to take action, because the market doesn't wait for you. The market doesn't wait for me. when there are opportunities, you got to take it, and then you got to get out, in and out, in and out, in and out. But not everyone can afford to do that. Not everyone has the time. Not everyone has the capital. There's a capital requirement. In order to day trade, you need at least 25K within the United States. Not everyone has 25K. Some people have jobs that they need to work. So, you know what I mean? Like for me, I swing trade too, but I'm primarily a day trader. But I swing trade a decent amount as well. But I spend most of my day trading, right? So you can do both. There's nothing wrong with that. Bridge says, happy hump day. Happy hump day. Bridget says, hi, Lawton. Thank you for your advice. MTA does suck. It does. But I became a member in March. I'm in SOX, VXX, UVX. Trades I've never even heard of before. I enjoyed verified investing. My knowledge and fortunes are improving. Verified investing are the antidote for the market, saving one retail investor at a time. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the kind words, Bridget. Thank you for your questions. Thank you so much. I mean, you had a great bounce in MTA today. It was up about 3% today. But yeah, I really appreciate your kind words. Like, at the end of the day, right, when I think for a large portion of my life and my thinking about career, like we're intrinsically as humans, we try and find value. And this is like has nothing to do with the charts, but we try to find value and purpose, right? Some people find it in religion, some people find it in relationships with people. And then that was me, right? I looked for it in those other places. And I thought that for me, that a job occupation was a means to an end. I need to make money so I can do the things I want to do, so I can have fun with friends. This is just like part of living, just like eating and sleeping and using the restroom, right? It's just things that you got to do, just like a job. But the fact that we here at Verified Investing, that I feel like I can help people, I can interact with people, that we're making a difference, gives me a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in my work. That before I used to work in marketing, and I had worked for a lot of large corporations, like making TikToks and stuff like that, and it's like and doing other sort of marketing stuff. But it's like, okay, that's just a means to an end. But this is the first time I've worked a job where I actually feel proud of my work, that I feel like I'm doing something that matters. And messages like this really help hammer that in. So thank you so much for your kind words, Bridget. I really appreciate it. And for all the rest of you being here, watching me, spending your lunch with me, and giving me good comments or questions, like, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Derek says, any good day trades, Mr. Lawton? I mean, we've had some incredible day trades today. I didn't take one, but Gareth made $5,000 on two day trades. Ben made $4,000 on two. And Drew made $260 on one. I didn't take any day trades today. I tried, but didn't hit my level. Here's what I was looking at today, though. I'll take it tomorrow if it hits there potentially. I was going to buy SMCI for a long. Basically, this is coming down. Looking for a bounce here on this $41 level. Did you see this beautiful gap fill? This is the area I was targeting for a bounce in the day trade. You saw it got close, right? Got about 50 cents away and then bounced like 2% from that level. But if SMCI comes down there, I'd be interested for a short day trade. If let's take a look at SOX. If SOX came down, I'll give you my exact day trading low for SOX. Let's go 732. I'd consider entering a long on SOX around $7.32. All right. Jeffrey says, nice job on the gains this morning in the day trading room. Yeah, props to all my other teammates. At one point in time, there's a 1/8 purchase on INTC and then a 7/8 purchase on Palantir. Does that mean that there was a total investment of $1 million? Yes. Santiago says, hi, Lon. How are you doing? I'm good. A little tired, but I'm always tired, aren't I? But yes. What are your thoughts on AMD? Absolutely. I'd be happy to take a look at AMD for you. Today, it touched the 158 support level. I'm considering joining you guys in the Apex live day trading room in the next few days. Yeah, I mean, we absolutely killed it in the live day trading room. Like, all right, I'll just show you guys. The live day trading room is on fire. And when I say on fire, I mean like literally on fire. Like my hands are hot. It's not hot. I don't know why I said that. So take a look at today. We closed out $9,000 in profits. This is what the day trading room looks like. Ben took $1,000 on Palantir. Drew took only $264 on Intel. Gareth made $3K on GHX, company I've never even heard of. Palantir made $2,700, and Gareth made another $2,100 on Robinhood. Right, pretty good. Right, looks pretty good. But what looks even better? Look at yesterday. We had $50,000 in profits yesterday. Gareth closed out 2 trades for $38,000, and I closed out 2 for around $11,000. Granted, 2 of those positions were held a little longer, right? Like my socks was held for a bit longer. But, dude, we made an absolute killing in those 2 trades. But, yeah, we had a 50K day yesterday. So, yeah. But today, I mean, we're killing it. Killing it today, right? You see the trades down here as well. But, yeah. Let's go back to the charts. Did I give my levels on AMD? Oh, I didn't. So you're looking for support around 158. Yeah, there's a. Sorry, I just get sidetracked all the time. I like these low pivots here. Like this 157.72 was an area I would consider for a bounce. However, it never got there, right? It got close. It got within like 50 cents or so before popping up. Now my level for a bounce, I have to look lower around the 154.75 level. That would be my level to go long AMD. But to be fair, AMD was overextended. It went up in basically a straight line since April. Since April, it was up over 141%. Crazy. So pullback was to be expected, right? But my thoughts on AMD, I think it's should get a bounce around 154.75, if not 146. All right. Let's see. LC says, I'm way underwater in my hedges, SQQ, SPX. So I understand it should be a day trade, but I got sucked in now 2 months. Any advice on a game plan? Thanks. First of all, I'm sorry that you're in those positions. It's tough. SQQQ. Down about 20%. Yeah, it's tough. I would add if it came down to below 17. As far as SPXS, 6.5. This one is really tough. That's down 33%. So first of all, LC, I'm sorry that you're in those positions. It really sucks. But if we look at the S&P, right? They do favor a pullback. You have this beautiful kind of upsloping trend line that we're trying to test today. If we can break this trend line, I think we can go 5% lower, at least on the S&P. So that would help your trades nicely. Now, can I guarantee you that you're going to come out of this and make all your money back and have a huge win on this, or even break even? No. Right? My job isn't to come on here and tell you what you want to hear. Unfortunately, that would be disingenuous of me. I'd rather just tell you what the probabilities are. So I think, yes, the S&P is coming down, right? You need to break this upsloping trend line. And if it comes down, I think it could come down around 5%. But I'm not sure that could be quite enough to get you out of your positions for profit or break even, unfortunately. But I would target this and look for an exit to try and mitigate loss around here. Remember, when you enter a trade, particularly a longer term swing trade, it's really important to set a stop loss. Set your maximum amount of money you're willing to lose. Because if not, you might be looking for this gain, but then you're losing this much. Or like even more, right? And if you're enjoying this content, I'd like to take a moment and ask you to like this, share it, comment on it. Thank you so much, as always, for all of your questions, likes, and interactions. It means the world to me. We're also going to be going live right after this. So I'm literally going to be on camera right after this at 1:30. We're going to be day trading live. It's going to be on the YouTube channel as well, or wherever you're watching. It's going to be live. So you're going to be able to literally day trade with us. We'll talk about some of the trades we had earlier, talk about some of the trades we had yesterday, what we're looking at. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyways, back to the questions. Matt Cole says, hey, Lon, when you enter a trade, do you always look for 3 or 4 entries to add if it goes wrong? Sometimes just 1 entries and a stop. It depends on the stock, but usually I look for 3 to 4 entries on that. Brewski says, happy Sox Day, Lon. Happy Sox Day, brother. Happy Sox Day to all of you guys. Riot levels. Thanks, Riot. Absolutely, I'd be happy. Riot platforms. My levels are on the screen as follows. I think I must have covered this before, but feel free to take a snapshot. I did say Riot favors a move lower because I was drawing this bear flag, but I said it's going to earnings, so don't trade it. But it's a coin flip. I mean, did it work out? Heck yeah, it worked out. But I don't like to gamble like that, right? If I'm going to the casino, take me to the casino. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Let's see what we got cooking here, though. Let's see here. Anything? Look at that. Look at that. Boom. That might have been the most perfect parallel that I've drawn in a long time. Look how satisfying that is. Boom, 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 boom today. Okay, this is bearish. You had the down move on earnings, upsloping, bear flag, favors a move lower. I'm bearish on this stock, particularly if it breaks this parallel channel. How do you play parallel channels? I'm glad you asked. I say it every single time. But why not do it again? This is a teachable moment. Okay, so if this comes down, you can enter on a break or a retrace to the bottom of this upsloping parallel channel, favoring a move lower. I'm targeting either this gap fill around 1055, about 10% lower, or this additional gap fill here around 20% lower, around 928. Sorry about that. If you want, you could just take a picture of this. I'll delete these strange markings. You can take a picture of this, pause it, frame it, hang it up on your refrigerator, tell your kids about it. But yeah, this is how I play it. Right. Paul says the time of VXX, no problem. Juan says, "Hi, Lon. What's your biggest insight on the Qs over the next few days? Similar to the S&P. Look at this. You had this beautiful wedge. You're trying to break below it. So I want to see a close below and then confirmation. Then I think you can see a fall around 5.5% to this 531.76 level." Derek says, "I'm an electrical consultant. I designed for this. Talk to an electrician about getting a 220 40 amp breaker installed in your electrical panel and run a few new outlet to your car's garage. Send me an email if you actually need help." Gotcha, Derek. Yeah, I've had 2 different electricians come out, and they both quoted me like $3K for it, and I'm not interested in paying that much. But if you think I could get it for cheap, here's the thing: my breaker's on the 3rd floor of my house. Then there's the 2nd floor, and then the garage, right? So that's why. Louis says, "Hi, how are you?" Good. How are you? Bought SMR. Thank you for your help, Derek. Bought SMR. How are you? Bought SMR going down. Do you think it will bounce down, but still in the money? Thanks. So for me, I shorted this previously. I think over here somewhere. This was a small cap that I traded a long time ago. Talking about like March or April or something. For me, if I think it could go lower, yes, absolutely. My downside target, if it did come down for major support, this is where I'd be a buyer, 25.40. What you can do is this. You can put a stop, a trailing stop. So let's say your average is somewhere here. As you can put your stop here. And as price continues higher, like this, like this, right? You can slowly move your stop loss up. Slowly move it up, and you would get stopped out here or here. But that prevents you if it comes down crashing. So I would say if you're in the money and you're not comfortable in the position, you can always just do that. Tell says, "Could you please?" Actually, Yusuf says, "Hi, Lon. You just did RKLB." I did. Wasn't that a bullish flag? Yeah, this is a bullish flag. Absolutely. Downsloping parallel is bullish, but 100%. This is technically bullish, but I talk about this all the time. But you're correct, Yusuf. Good eye. It's all at its all-time highs. Stocks trading at the highs. I don't like bullish patterns as much. Can this go higher? Absolutely, but it needs to break above this downsloping parallel channel. But if it comes down and breaks down and can stay below, I'm looking for a target somewhere around here. But absolutely great eye, Yusuf. Patel says, "Could you please check BAC, Bank of America, has the inverse head and shoulders pattern with a daily and weekly. Is it a buy here?" Let's see. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Where is your inverse head and shoulders pattern? Feel free to send your chart to me. I do not see one. My brain is also being a little slow today. Like this. Something like this. Or what? Something like this. Are you talking about? Or what is the where is your inverse head and shoulders pattern? That's all. You could send me a picture or give me the dates. I don't see any inverse head and shoulders pattern. But also my brain is A little slow. Pascal says, "What is your personal opinion and also your technical analysis on in no data?" I know D. It's a $1 billion company. Full disclosure, I don't trade this. I would not trade this. It's too small of a company. Not interested in trading this. I'm sorry. Look at this beautiful gap fill that worked out for day trade, though. You see this really strong gap fill from May. Look at this. It bounced 4% from that level. Incredible. I'm sorry. I can't give too much information about this. I think that if you absolutely wanted to buy, I would wait for the Liberation Day lows and buy there. But I'm not. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. Sorry, Pascal. Gabriella says, "Can you please look into Coinbase?" I'd be happy to. But yeah, data, I don't love it too much just because it's such a small company. Coinbase, yeah, Coinbase had a rough day, but is rebounding. You know why? Because Bitcoin is also rebounding. Had a beautiful pop from this double, triple bottom, basically. For me, Coinbase, my long position on Coinbase, I'd probably wait till 243. I know it's 20% lower, but that's where I'd start a long for a swing just because it's so far up, right? Definitely favors a pullback. But we want to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, broke this upsloping trend line. I'm looking to reshort it if it pops back up to the retrace to the neckline. Pavlina said, "Good to see you, Lon. Good to see you, Pavlina, or hear from you, or read you." Not sure how that works. Palantir today stopped me out at the bottom because I missed my entry back. Does it look like it might still be a buy for a later swing or the next day or two? No, Palantir was up so far about 183. I would not be interested in taking it for a swing for a while. I know Gareth isn't either. My level is 119 down here. That's when I'd enter potential swing along in Palantir. I know it's 22% lower. I know it's so far away, but sometimes, right, and this is so important, guys, you don't have to be in the trade. You don't have to be in there. You can just slowly take it. Slowly take it. If it comes down, hits your level, great. But for a long swing trade, I'm not interested in Palantir at all. Gabriel says, "You're so helpful, Lawton." Of course. You're welcome. Derek says, "If time." Yes, time. How do you set up your VWAP in your settings? Absolutely. I'll tell you. So how to set up VWAP, you go to indicators here, and you just type in VWAP. And then you see this volume weighted average price. Okay. And it'll come up over here, right? And if you want my exact settings, I can go over here to my settings, and you can see over here. My style, I click all of these. Okay. Upper band 1, lower band 1, upper band 2. So VWAP is just the volume weighted average price. The each standard deviation is listed as number 1, number 2, number 3 for these bands. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about it, about how to set that up for VWAP. Doug says, "Love the stream." Thanks so much. Out of interest, does the live day trading room results include losses? Yes. Or do you only display trades that made into the green? No. I wish it was like that. It would be a lot better. Wins or losses, it's all 100% transparent. Like, let me look you for example. Look at this. We've been on a bit of a hot streak, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Green. Look at this. $5,000 loss on NVIDIA. $12,000 loss on Coinbase. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Absolutely not. We have cashed in some good ones recently, but like this was mine yesterday. This was Garrett's for 34K. Disgusting. But yeah. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? That's not part of, like, here's the thing. Our company name is Verified Investing. When I started working here, something they told me was like, we're all about everything being able to be verified, right? Like being transparent. So AMA, Chris says, what does AMA stand for? It means stands for Ask Me Anything. You can ask me about myself. You can ask me about our services. You can ask me about charts, positions you're in, crypto, stocks, options, sports. I love sports. I love to talk about sports. You can ask me about anything. All right. I'm out of time. I'm going to do this really quick. Your straightforwardness and honesty is truly appreciated. Thanks, Brewski. Thanks a lot, Head and Shoulders and Socks. On what time frame? On the 1 minute? I don't see it. I don't see it here either. Jose says, what do you think about UBS? I'm going to be done in 2 minutes. I'm sorry, production team. I promise I'll be done. What do you think about UBS? UBS is up at its highs. I think it favors a pullback. I would not go long UBS. As far as MRK, American Company, it is breaking out of a down-sloping trend line. I think it favors a move higher. My target for this, I would look for, honestly, like 15% higher, 15 to 17% higher. I'd look for like it to go to $100. Russi said the 1 minute. Let's take a look really quickly. Head and shoulders pattern. I don't see it. Struggling to see head and shoulders pattern. If you're talking about inverse, I see an inverse head and shoulders pattern. There is one inverse head and shoulders pattern right here with a measured move up about 18 cents higher, about 2% higher. There's an inverse head and shoulders there. Not sure if that's what you're talking about. Last question. ASTS, another meme stock trading diary says, what are we thinking the ACS head and shoulders? Are we waiting for confirmation? I like it, dude. I like the head and shoulders pattern on this. You can either enter, dude. ASTS is kind of a meme stock, right? Look at that. You don't have to wait for confirmation. You can just enter and play it with a stop, or you can enter on a retrace. Let's say it comes back up into this. You can reshort it here. But I like it a lot. You're welcome. Brewski, no problem. Dean is NUE good for a buy today? I don't know. I have no idea. If you send me a message on Twitter, I'll answer that, okay? I'm ready over time. I'm ready 2 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to go live for the live day trading room. I'm literally going to be live in 10 minutes for the live day trading room. You can see exactly what we do. You get full access just like a normal member would, except for you can't send messages to us. But thank you so much for watching me. If you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to this. Share it with your friends, your family, your dogs, your cats, your fish. I have some fish at home that I was teaching my brother to feed over the phone, and it was stressful because he doesn't know anything about fish. Fish people are crazy. Anyways, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. I do this every day from 12:30 to 1:15, so I'm going to be live again tomorrow. If you have any additional questions, particularly you, Dean, you can feel free to send them to me on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is @LawtonInvesting. My name Lawton, followed by the word investing. Just send me your DM there. I'd be happy to answer anything I didn't get to. Thank you so much for watching me, guys. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you all tomorrow or literally in 10 minutes because we're going to be live in 10 minutes with Gareth, myself, the whole gang. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye, guys.